Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the look at the Mezco 112 Collective Popeye. So, before we get started, I want to start by saying shout out to Toyz and Sculpt Toys because I forgot to order one, but here I am because of you guys. I was able to get one, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Pretty and simple. Popeye is a sleeper hit. I know a lot of opinions are going to vary on this, but in terms of getting Popeye right, Mezco has done something phenomenal, and Popeye is definitely a hit, at least in my opinion. So let's get started on me trying to explain why it is to you. First and foremost, this head sculpt is absolutely amazing. I know we've all seen one of those 3D artists who kind of do the renditions of what would Popeye look in 3D. This is definitely a form or shape of it. The head sculpt is spot on. They went with the black tailored suit of Popeye. They didn't do the white suit. They didn't do his blue and white suit. There's many other different variations of Popeye you can get, especially because Popeye spans back a long, long time ago. And it's crazy how you don't even see Popeye cartoons anymore. My favorite one has to be when Bluto was Sinbad, and he sang the song, "Who's the most remarkable, extraordinary fellow," and then Popeye, because Sinbad thought, Sinbad the sailor. Yeah, anyway, I absolutely love that cartoon. It's one of my favorites of all time. But anyway, it is a great tailored suit. It looks phenomenal on Popeye. It works with the huge forearms. The look and tailor of the legs is actually perfect and scrawny. It's not really scrawny, but it's muscular enough to show you that Popeye's legs matches his arms, which is really dope. Because Popeye's this small sailor dude who's already strong, but it doesn't matter until he eats his spinach. But anyway, let's get into the articulation. So he can look up. The neck peg is actually two attached parts, so you can actually rotate the neck all the way around. You should really have an issue, as it has some neck articulation to go down with as well. So you can look up, you can look down, you can tilt left and right. So Popeye has the facial expression and the neck movement and range to match that, which is really dope. The arms come up really, really far. He has a great range, very simple. The arms don't go in very far, maybe because his biceps are so gigantic. So you can only make an L shape at about 90 degrees, but it's very, very nice. You get a nice ball joint rotation on the arms, which is absolutely fantastic, especially for Popeye. So let's roll these back down. And you don't have to roll up your sleeves because Popeye already did it for himself. The tattoo is actually wonderful. I love the look of the two sailors' tattoos. I don't know too many nautical terms, so I don't have any jokes for that. The leg articulation is actually pretty cool because you actually get thigh swivel. You get a nice rotation going up. It is double jointed, as you can see here. If you can't see, you can see now. The leg articulation is actually a little tricky, but you do have a very nice ankle pivot that you should look out for, which is very, very nice. And it goes back and goes forward. It's really, really nice. Popeye is one of those things where if you loved Popeye as a kid, this is going to be a really dope piece for you. He just looks good. No matter what I've done, he's absolutely looked good for me. One of the things I want to point out is Popeye's pipes. I want to jump straight into that, is because there are going to be a port pieces here that belong in Popeye's mouth. And you actually have to be very gentle with it. And as you can see, I've plugged it in very easily. They give you 3 of each. You get one that does not puff the smoke. And then you'll get another part that's actually going to allow you to puff the smoke, which is really cool. And I thought this is really dope that it was added in. And again, you have to be careful, like I said, when plugging it in, because it's very fragile. And it looks absolutely wonderful, this piece here. I'm going to show you guys real quick that you actually get 3 pieces of each. I'm going to show you right in the case. Voila. I'm actually going to take this off real fast. We're going to talk about the other things that Popeye actually comes with. He does come with a compass, which is very nice. The compass both opens and closes. So for those of you who don't know your way, you can now use it to find your way. So don't get lost now. Popeye also has a telescope, because as a man in the Navy, you need one of these. At least in that time. It was very much required. And what's really cool is that you can actually shrink it down by using the way that it was built before. So that's really dope. You don't have to like press yourself, but it can't fold in. Totally can fold in. It's really cool. I wish it was actually a working one. It would be really fun. But I'm asking for too much with that. Next up, we're going to get Popeye's alternative head, which is the kind of mad face that you get, which is really, really dope. You see the tiny grin here. The eyes are closed on both of them, which is really dope. And you have the nice glossy blue eyes. It kind of gives you that feel of that Robin Williams Popeye that he did a long time ago, if you can remember that, if you're old enough. But yeah, Next up, as far as hands go, you get 2 relaxed hands, which are really nice. You get 1 open palm. This palm is going to hold your can of spinach. This one is going to hold your other items like your compass, your telescope, and other things that will be dedicated to the right hand. So Popeye's going to be left-handed for spinach, right hand for other items. Then you get 1 pointing hand, which is really nice because, again, as a nautical man, pointing. Especially if you're one at, I think it's at the bow, which is the top of the boat. I could be wrong, but I'm trying to remember. I've been on a boat a few times and learned a few terms. Next up, you get 1 can of spinach. 1 normal can of spinach, unopened. And then you get his torn out, I'm ready to feast in and chow down can of spinach, which is really dope. Because if you're going to use the crushed hand, it looks really good in it. Next up, you get a nice bag that shows you that you can fit all these items in, including his jacket, which I'll cover next. And it does have a drawstring, so you can actually pull it together like a real bag. Last but not least, in terms of items, at least for the normal ones, you get Popeye's jacket. This actually fits on him really well. It's Velcro. And the best way I suggest you put on Popeye's jacket because of his gigantic forearms is you actually take his forearms out, which can be easily done once you heat it up. But if you have some strength, you can just take it out. And voila. It allows you to go over it and just put it right back in. Like I said, I suggest you heat it up. But if you have the strength and you are feeling bold, you can just pop it right out. I would not recommend that, though. I recommend you actually putting it through the heater, a heater of some sort, maybe a blow dryer. Last but not least, I know Popeye has a super cool bald head. Shout out to my bald friends out there. But you can actually pop a cap on. And Popeye has a few looks with hats. He has the Black Scully, which is my favorite. It definitely works and looks for this. He has his sailor's hat, which is really nice. And what's really cool about the sailor's hat is that you can actually tilt it if you want, and it stays on. So that's actually really nice. Especially if you want to do the tilted hat like in the old cartoons, you can tilt it forward when Popeye means business. Then you have his captain's hat, which sits right at the top of his head. And it doesn't really fit, but it looks really cool on there. So I really, really like that. So I am enjoying this Popeye. It is simple. It is really nice and nostalgic. And it feeds on my love of that nostalgia, especially that of Popeye. So this is something I definitely needed to have. I'm very happy to own as well. Came out just fine to me. But real quick, we're going to jump into size comparisons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump Popeye back on his backtrack. And we're going to fit him up with some other stuff that's going to be whether in scale or not. So we're going to check it out. First up, we're going to go with an Articulated Icons Ninja. And the reason why I chose that, because it was closest. So Popeye is really on the small side if he's smaller than Articulated Icons Ninja, especially being for a Mezco 112 collective. Next up, we're going to do a Spider-Man from Marvel Legends. This one's going to be the superior Spider-Man. I know he's a tad bit smaller. That's why it works with him. So it also shows you that even though he's smaller than Spider-Man, Popeye is a short guy like me. So Popeye's probably like 5'1". Who knows how tall Popeye is? Cartoons are cartoons. Next up, we're going to go with the Mythic Legion's Orc. And the Mythic Legion stuff has an excellent scale. They scale really, really large. So Popeye will look really good fighting them, especially being larger things. Then we have the 112 Synthetic Human from 1000 Toys. Really, really nice. Next up, we're going to do SH Figuarts. And I chose Kamen Rider Decade. This one is the renewal one. Considering it is bigger than its previous one, I got to make sure I say that. So, wow, Popeye's even smaller than an SHF. Did not expect that. Next up, we have my Kit Bash cable, also from Mezco and also from the 112 line, using the Punisher base body. And as you can see, Popeye's height in terms of with other Mezcos is actually really, really small. So that shows you right there his differences. For those of you that are going to ask how does Popeye look with bigger characters, here he is next to an Infinity War Hulk. Let's actually set these guys down and you'll see. This is him next to Infinity War Hulk, and this is him next to an Astrobot. So, Popeye's a tiny guy. In the meantime, guys, I hope you found it informative. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed me mincing my words and singing my Bluto song of who's the most remarkable, extraordinary fellow. Me. Sinbad the Sailor. All right, y'all can ignore me. Anyway, hope you guys do good, be good, drink your water. Later.